Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I believe tonight is going to be a wing or a pizza night. That's kind of what I'm craving. And by the way, when I was on a travel ball weekend recently, I had some Johnny's pizza, and to me, that's some of the best pizza you can have. Is their Italian pizza? It's like pepperoni and sausage and vegetables. But their Italian pizza is excellent. It's one of the best I've had. Okay, I didn't sleep good last night because the 7-year-old got in my bed again and decides that he needs a pillow. And so he took, normally a lot of times I will sleep with a pillow, like holding a pillow so that my shoulder doesn't hurt while I sleep. And he had to have that pillow. And so I slept in an awkward way all night. And anytime I sleep with my son, I mean, you can get my 7-year-old, you can get punched in the face just like that. And so when he sleeps in the bed, I have a move where I put my hand over my nose so that I don't get my nose broken while I'm sleeping. It's really fun when he comes to sleep in my bed. And I'm really, and then my other son was asking if he could have someone spend the night tonight, and that means that my 7-year-old thinks he's got a guaranteed spot sleeping in my bed, and that's never good. Oh well, this is what I'm dealing with here. Okay, Tony Valentino, this guy's tweets intrigue me quite often. I wonder where he comes up with some of this stuff. He talks like he knows something, and for that reason, it's interesting to me, and I think that it could be interesting to you, and for that reason, I show it to you. All right, he's tweeting out this from Mike Dudas, who's a Bitcoin anti-Ripple, anti-XRP guy. And this guy's tweeting out this, which is about Binance is launching their staking platform with 8 assets. And they name all the assets, and of course, XRP is not on the list. Well, this goes back to what we've talked about a lot, about how people just won't, naming XRP or Ripple is like the biggest no-no in this industry. He says, notice XRP is never first. This is to cover their tracks and create a scenario of plausible deniability, remove any thoughts or evidence of biasness or favoritism. Meanwhile, XRP is the global deep state's new world currency being set up to replace the role of USD in global trade. Now, I'm not going to go down the road of deep state and that type of stuff, but I will say that, as I've said on this channel from day one, there's a reason. It's not a coincidence that the Novogratz, the Barry Silberts, all these guys, they'll talk about all kinds of different digital assets, but they will not bring up Ripple or XRP, even though they are. This is actual investors in Ripple that will not bring up XRP unless they are specifically asked about it, and then they will move on to the next thing as fast as they can. That is not a coincidence. I'm not calling it deep state, but I am saying that I believe that the foundation for XRP has been laid behind the scenes, and it's much bigger than people think, and I will say that the blackout, I guess you could call it, of saying Ripple or XRP, I think it is intentional. I think it's by design. I've always thought it. That's the reason I keep bringing it up, because there's not a doubt in my mind that that's the reason for that. Okay, Joker at Kia Crypto sent me this. Now, this is funny because this is the way that consumers / investors think, and it's so true. XRP, he says XRP at 50 cents. I wish I bought more at 30-cent levels. XRP dips to 25 cents. I'm scared. I don't buy it. 3, iPhone 11 Pro comes out and at $1,300. I bought one. I'm happy. A couple of years later, XRP's at $240. Damn, I could have been rich. Where's your iPhone 11 Pro now? That is so true. What I like to use as a comparison to the way investors think, and the flaw in 99% of investors thinking is think about the day after Thanksgiving when all the stores have the big sales. They've got the big red sale sign. All the hordes go out and they buy all of these things cheap. And when the same thing happens in the digital asset market or the stock market, everybody's terrified to go and buy them. It's the same situation. You have deals. You're looking at deals. If you've done the research on which digital asset or which stock or anything that you're buying, if you know what you're buying, just like you think you know the value of that TV that you can get for $300 the day after Thanksgiving that is normally $600. So you think that thing is worth $600. Well, I'm looking at XRP when it's at 25 cents, and I think it's worth far, 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 far and away beyond 25 cents. And so I see it as an opportunity, as a deal. And if as an investor, especially you young people listening to me, if you could ever develop that mindset, that mindset has made Warren Buffett a billionaire. That is the mindset that has made Warren Buffett a billionaire. Whenever he sees recession coming, he makes sure he has tons of cash on the sidelines so that he can scoop up the deals while everybody else is terrified. So this is worthy of showing you from Kia Crypto, the Joker. Okay, from Crypto Night, this is from yesterday. A lot of good things came out yesterday after I'd finished doing my videos. He's following me. I'm going to give him a follow. Crypto Night, Token Taxonomy Act. This is Warren Davidson, he's asking questions to the SEC in the hearings. Thanks, Warren Davidson, for pushing this important act forward. This act will pave the way for crypto assets to thrive in a regulated environment set by SEC. And then part 2 here, he literally asks Hester Pierce of the SEC, literally asks them, if we pass a law, is that going to give you guys the guidance you need, more or less is what he says. He says in this part of the video, he makes it clear by asking SEC that if Congress passes a law, such as the Token Taxonomy Act, in order for the SEC to enforce clear regulation of any crypto assets, the answer was yes. Call to action of Congress on the Token Taxonomy Act. Yes, keep on emailing and tweeting your congressman. Okay, from X-Men XRP at XRP33. Facebook's Libra project is a walled garden, Ripple exec says. This is Ripple's Marcus Treacher says Facebook's Libra project is a walled garden, in other words, a closed system. The proposed Libra token will be managed by a Switzerland-based organization known as the Libra Association. Treacher adds that it is, however, still a really good thing that Silicon Valley giant is playing a role in the space. Well, XRP Crypto Wolf came in and summarized some of the more important things from this. Marcus Treacher, Ripple's Senior VP of Customer Success in Facebook's Libra cryptocurrency, is a walled garden. He said Ripple has no walled garden, unlike Facebook. Yes, it's a network, but it has no parameter. It connects with all of the players. In other words, it connects all of the walled gardens, whether that walled garden is a central bank or Facebook, whatever. XRP is the one. Okay, XRP Bart at XRP Bart sent me this yesterday. This is one of the best tweets that I have seen in a long time, folks, because we've talked a lot about how we believe, and it was Brad Combs' idea, but we've talked for a while that we believe, or at least I believe, that that XRP, even if it's held by Ripple, has been pre-allocated is what Brad Combs said, but it's been earmarked. So legally, they may not, a central bank or a bank may not be able to hold XRP right now, but I believe that a lot of it is earmarked for certain central banks and banks. Now, Michael Arrington, remember, Michael Arrington runs Arrington XRP Capital. This guy knows what's going on at Ripple. This guy's connected. He's a billionaire, is my understanding. That he knows what's going on behind the scenes. We've seen him in meetings with the CEO of Binance. He knows exactly what's going on. So when he says something like this, your ears better perk up, because he's telling you right here what's going on. When central banks start accumulating crypto, it's game over. What some of us know is that a handful of central banks have already started. Folks, come on. What else? What do I need to draw you a picture? Do I need to draw a picture or draw a painting? What do we need to tell you on this channel for you not to know that the world is about to be turned up? The financial world is about to be turned upside down. And there's only one company that is associated with a use case of a digital asset. There's only one who has been meeting with the central banks of the world. And it ain't Bitcoin, because there is no CEO. There's nobody to do any meetings. And Bitcoin, the people that tout Bitcoin have made it very, very clear that more or less represents anti-government, anarchy. Do you think those central banks are meeting with any kind of representative that could in any way represent Bitcoin? No. The answer is no. Now, I'm not saying that they won't hold some Bitcoin in their reserves. I think they will. But there's only one where meetings have actually been taking place for the last year and a half with central bankers. It's the one, XRP, the greatest digital asset ever created. Okay, so what he's tweeting is Pomp's tweet, Anthony Pompliano. Reports are surfacing that Venezuela is considering holding Bitcoin and Ethereum in their central bank reserves, while also using it to pay organizations. Every country will eventually do this. Just a matter of time before the game theory kicks in. I agree with him. I think every country will hold and mine Bitcoin. I agree. I'm a Bitcoin holder. Like Brad Garlinghouse, I am bullish on Bitcoin, but it's not the one. XRP is. Okay, and then we've got this, where CZ Binance weighs in. This is from Pomp as well. Prediction, Venezuela will eventually admit they created state-sponsored Bitcoin mining facilities. They have the cheapest electricity in the world, just showed up with unaccounted for Bitcoin, and it would be non-censorable revenue source for them. Eventually, every country will be miners. Then CZ Binance comes in. A few countries are already way ahead in the game. While it doesn't matter now, wait till Bitcoin goes up 100 or 1,000 times. It will be too late to act then. Actively buying then will only further push up the price. There are only so many Bitcoin in the world. And Pomp comes in here and says there are many people who ignore the mechanics and game theory of Bitcoin. These people will be left wondering what happened. I will not be wondering what happened because the digital asset investor owns Bitcoin. I think it is the Bitcoin XRP show in the next year or two, folks. And I think a lot more money will be made on XRP. Chinu Patel at Chinu Patel 2029. This guy just sent me a whole, I think the rest of the show is dedicated to Chinu Patel on this Friday because he sent me all of these tweets. And I also need to call it the Anthony Pompliano show today because he was on CNBC this morning, and two of these tweets involved him. From Squawk Box, the U.S. He told CNBC Squawk Box the U.S. government should tokenize the U.S. dollar immediately. These CNBC people are all just sitting there scratching their head. Well, why would you want to own Bitcoin if you could own a digitized U.S. dollar? And these people, they act so confused. It's so sad for them because they still don't get it. I think they do get it. I think that they're just on the payroll, Why would you own Bitcoin if you can own the U.S. dollars? And he says people are going to opt for something that is not manipulatable, not seizable. That's what Pomp said. So there you go. All right. And then this is not the first time the IMF has tweeted something like this out, folks. This is like the second or third time in the last 2 weeks. These people at the IMF, and remember, I don't remember her name, but the new lady just took over at the IMF. But the IMF is conditioning the people to accept what's coming. That's what they're doing here. This is the second time this has been brought up in the last 2 or 3 weeks. Digital currencies. This is from the IMF Twitter account. Digital currencies. Will central banks be the next to go digital? And remember, Christine Lagarde, she has done several speeches where she throws out there, we need to discuss central banks and digital assets and whether they need to create their own central bank digital assets. This is conditioning, people. That's what this is. Remember, these are central planners. They plan and they central plan to condition you, to make you understand that they know what's best for you. Okay, this is from Tony Valentino. No, he makes a point here that I totally agree with. He's tweeting out that IMF article that I just showed you. It says, imagine there are still people who think Bitcoin and blockchain was invented by some random guy named Satoshi, and it has reached this stage. How stupid or blind must one be to believe this wasn't all planned and designed for a new system and the future of technology and money? And I totally 10,000% agree with it. I think there's not one part of me, I've seen enough now to know, I don't think Bitcoin's an accident. I don't think XRP's an accident. I think that there are many copycats that are way down the list on CoinMarketCap and these things, that those are just, people that saw a way to make a buck. But I think that those two, I think the Bitcoin XRP show was planned. I think it's here for a reason. What those reasons are, maybe we'll find out one day. Okay, also from Shalini, this is a lady over in India. Iran, crypto mining is legal. China, Bitcoin is as legal property. Philippines, 48 exchanges regulated. Switzerland, $44 billion crypto event. Portugal, trade crypto tax-free. Japan, 19 exchanges regulated. France, crypto legal framework set. India, next court date is, and she's basically saying, what's going on, India? You need to make this, y'all need to catch up to what the world's doing. And then this guy says, many of the Swiss banks are now entering into crypto. Switzerland is set to become the world's crypto bank. One country after another is finding new ways to gain entry into crypto. When will Indians get to participate? Mark my words, folks. India is in the game. And you'll never guess what company that represents the greatest use case for a digital asset is the most active company in India with regard to this space and blockchain. Yes, that would be Ripple. If you don't believe me, go to Google and type in India Ripple, and you will learn that Ripple, who is working on the number one use case for the greatest digital asset ever created, XRP, has got themselves firmly in India, where nobody else does. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button and tell your friends and family that I will probably have wings or pizza tonight, and I'm going to try my best to keep my 7-year-old out of my bed so I can actually sleep. Thank you for listening.